What's going on, everybody? gfunkyboxing. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time I go live. Man. Shawn Porter has got a lot of people in their feelings, man. Wow. And I said that on Twitter, and I'm getting a lot of good feedback. Um, I even got Marcos Villegas from Fight Hype to or Fight Hub. I'm sorry, my mistake. Fight Hub to send me a tweet of his video from he actually interviewed Shawn Porter about his comments. What's going on, Omar? Um, he sent it to me, so I go check it out. I was like, hey man, thanks a lot. I'll check it out, listen to it. And he pretty much said I meant what I said. He said what he said. I meant what I said. Um, when he said that Boots Ennis is overrated, you know? And I'm gonna give my thoughts on it real quickly here. It's just too much to get off in a short video. So I figured I would just go live to do it. Let me see here. Boxing Magic says, why is everyone shocked? Boots is overhyped. Boots never been in a quality fight. They even go as far as saying Boots beats Canelo. I agree with Shawn. You know what? Look, I agree with Shawn as well, man. But I want to get this out of the way real quickly because we know what happens here on YouTube. People want to twist things around, make it about something that it's not. This has nothing to do with race, number one. Okay. So we're not going to turn it into that. That's not going to happen here. So if that's what you're looking for, you can just leave right now. What I'm going to talk about is what my true feelings are on Jerron Boots Ennis and what Shawn Porter had to say about him. That's what's going to happen here. All right. And number two, this is not going to be a hit piece on Boots Ennis because I've been big on Boots Ennis. And I got the receipts. We're not going to turn this into a revenge thing. What about Virgil Ortiz? This is not about Virgil Ortiz. Nobody's saying that Virgil Ortiz washes Spence, washes Porter, or washes Ugas or Crawford. Nobody's saying that. So this has nothing to do with Virgil Ortiz. This is going to strictly be about what Porter said about Boots and what my thoughts are on it. That's what this is. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay. I want to make this very clear to everybody on what overrated means. Okay. A lot of people don't know what the hell that word means. Rolling with the punches. What's up, man? So here's what I did. Because, I understand what that word means. I use it a lot. I use that word a lot when it comes to sports because I feel like that is something that happens a lot. Fans tend to overrate whether it be players in other sports or boxers, fighters, MMA, whatever it may be, in boxing, whatever, that happens a lot. So I'm going to read to you from Webster's dictionary right now what the word even means, okay? It says to put a high value on, to assess too highly. To assess too highly, to put too much value on. That's what the word means. What's up, Puro Sur Central? What's up, man? That's what the word means. So when I went to Google to look at the same thing, right? And they'll give you like other options where it says people also ask, right? So there is a question here that says, is it good to be called overrated, right? Now, they took a piece of an article about, to me, it sounds like it's from a basketball website where they're rating players, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this paragraph and I'm going to replace the word player with boxer because this is talking about a boxer. All right. This is what we're talking about here. And it says, to many people, the word overrated and the word suck are anonymous or synonymous. My mistake. Being overrated by definition implies that a boxer is getting more recognition than he deserves. It does not necessarily mean that this certain boxer sucks. A player can be good and get more recognition than he actually deserves. I'll read that one more time for people who have a hard time. And I'm not saying any of you guys here live have a hard time understanding what the word overrated means when rating boxers or players, whatever it may be. But it says to many people, the word overrated and the word suck are synonymous. Being overrated by definition implies that a boxer is getting more recognition than he deserves. It does not necessarily mean this certain boxer sucks. A boxer can be good and get more recognition than he's actually deserves. It's really not that hard to understand. But people are making such a big fucking deal about it, man. People are getting so sensitive about it. And I'll tell you this right now. If people were saying these things about Virgil Ortiz, that he just destroys Crawford, he destroys Spence, he destroys Ugas, I'd be telling you the same exact thing. You're overrating the kid. Because that's exactly what you're doing at that point. If you're saying that, we don't know. We don't know if he beats these guys until they fight. And that's why it matters. We're not going to go off on imagination, man. That's not what I do. A lot of you guys who have been here with me for a long time know that I've been consistent on this. I don't go off of the eye test. Once a fighter proves himself against a top contender or wins a world championship, then we know how good they really are. We know for sure then. Now, does Boots look the part? Absolutely he does. To me, him and Virgil Ortiz both look sensational. I don't know why your comment's not showing up on the StreamYard here, the GOAT, but I'm going to read it. Fanboys are confused in their feelings. The truth is he is overrated. Doesn't mean he ain't shit or yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. And I've been on record saying that. I've been saying, matter of fact, since the beginning of 2021, I've been coming on here saying that I think that Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis can save the welterweight division because I see them with star potential, both of them. And they could make a fight between these two guys in the future. It could be a super fight, a big fight. They continue to grow these two young men the way that they should. Put them on the collision course. I've been saying that. I've also been on record saying this. Give me a second. Because I honestly feel this way. I don't feel like they're ready just yet. And that's both of them. But I made this video right here after Boots beat Lipinets. I made a post-fight video. And the reason why I did it after his fight was because Virgil had just fought like a couple weeks before. He fought Mo Hooker. Connor Benn, who's another young guy in the welterweight division, fought Sammy Vargas. And then later that night, Boots fought Lipinets. So all three of the young up-and-coming welterweights fought that night. So that's why I decided, well, not that night, but right around the same time. So that's why I waited. And I talked about all three of them in here, but more specifically Boots and Virgil, because I feel like they're just a little bit, they're a few steps ahead. To me, Virgil's leading the pack as far as proving himself, but they're a little bit ahead of Ben. So this is what I said. Listen to this. I'm going to say this. Look,
They're already talking about how these young guys want to match up against the guys at the top. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Both of these young dudes, Ortiz and Ennis, right? If those dudes at the top want to see these dudes, they better get them now. They better fucking do it now, because if they wait and these young dudes get better, these young guns, it's over.
So, again, this is not hating on Boots like a lot of you guys think it is. Just like a lot of you guys think Shawn Porter is hating on Boots when he's not. He's not hating on him. Matter of fact, if you listen to the interview that he did with Marcos Viega on Fight Hub, he said it. Look, he goes, do I think he could be up next or the next guy? Yes. But as of right now, I'm not going to say he's washing all these dudes at the top. Because I'm just not going to agree with that. And I've been saying that. So people can't come here and say this is me being brand new with the shit. I said I think in a few years they're going to beat these guys, but not right now. I've been on record saying I think Terrence Crawford beats them all right now. And I still believe that. It's too soon to be crowning guys. It's just too soon, and especially with Boots. I mean, look at his last 4 fights. He fought Juan Carlos Abreu, my mistake. Chris Van Heerden, Sergey Lipinets, and Thomas Delorme. Delorme coming off of a 2-fight loss streak coming into that fight. He just hasn't fought anybody yet. What's going on, Boxing Historian? It just hasn't happened yet. And we've all made the mistake in the past that, we get excited. We see a guy with tremendous talent against, not the best competition. And look, that's cool if you're like, hey man, I like the way this young kid looks, but then to sit there and say that he just destroys everybody, that's going too far. That's overrating. That's overrating. My boy D Style made a tweet and he said, I remember years ago on this app, he's talking about Twitter, how everybody was excited and saying that Adrian Broner was going to be the next pound for pound number 1. Turns out that wasn't the case, right? Which is why we can't do that. Did he look the part? Of course, against, C-level competition. So we can't just jump the gun, man. Like, guys jump the gun too much. Let's wait and see what happens. We really don't know if Boots can take a shot yet. We really don't know how good his chin is. He hasn't been in there with anybody to test it yet. Lipinets hit him with a couple of shots, but I don't think Lipinets is like a knockout power. He's like a knockout artist. Like, no, I don't know. He's not. Especially at welterweight. Can he punch? Yeah. Got some pop. But it's nothing that's going to put your lights out with one shot. No. I don't even think Delorme hit him when they fought. Like, it's just too soon. And then, like, with his tweet where he's like, oh, you come out of retirement and show me how overrated I am. Like, I'm sorry, man. I don't think calling out a retired fighter is a good look, You should be trying to work your way up the ladder, Boots. Why challenge a retired fighter? Like, I don't know if he really meant that, if he just said that out of anger or what, but not a good look. So I agree with Shawn Porter, man. I do. I just think people need to pump the brakes, man. Let's see him in there with someone that's maybe in the top 10 next. I don't know who they got lined up or in talks with for Boots, but I want to see who he's going to fight next and how he does against that opponent. And they better be better than Delorme or Lepinets. Like at least with Ortiz, we see him making those steps forward. He fought Sam Vargas, Mo Hooker, Mean Machine. Mean Machine gave Crawford a pretty difficult fight. A lot of people think he dropped him. He hurt Virgil, and Virgil recovered, ends up knocking the guy out. That's what I want to see with Boots. I want to see him in there with a guy who's going to give him some resistance before I could say all this stuff. That's the way I do it. Now, some of you guys who are already on the train now, look, that's fine if you want to jump on the train now. You can do whatever you want. But you don't know what the future holds for this kid. You just don't. So don't sit here and try to fucking act like you do when you don't. That's why the fights matter. Like my boy Calix said, the fights matter. You have to fight to find out. Some of you guys who are on the train already, and let's just say hypothetically, he does become a big star. Like, oh, see, I told you, like. And I'm not telling you any different. I think he does have the goods to be a world champion and a star. Do I know that for sure? No. Do you know that for sure? No, you don't. So don't act like you do. We've seen it happen too many times with fighters. Boots is like right now with his level of competition, he's like the guy in the minor leagues who's, hitting 350, 40 home runs. He's killing in the minors. They make the call, bring him to the pros, and maybe he's hitting like, 260, maybe got half the home runs because the level of competition picks up. And I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen once his level of competition steps up, but it could. We just don't know until he gets in there. And I'm not going to crown anybody. Like I seen Joe Goosen put his top 10 welterweights Saturday night. He had Boots over Ugas. That's fucking crazy. Top 3 already. Just behind Spence and Crawford. Jesus Christ. Like, based on what? That's fucking crazy to me. Dude rated him over a world champion. This is crazy, man. I'm not into that, man. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And if you want to come back and be see, I told you, if that's what makes you sleep good at night, go ahead. That's fine. But you don't fucking know what the future holds for this young kid. None of us do. What we do know is that he looks the part right now against C-level comp. That's what we do know. We don't know what he's going to look like against the guys at the top. We can't just crown him. Doesn't make any sense to me. We're seeing young guys in lower weight classes. When they're stepping up, they're not looking so good, not looking so hot. It just happens, Until we see him in there with a guy with the experience, good power, can box like him with good speed, we don't know how he would do. And I'll be honest with you, if Barrio stays at 147, it would not surprise me if Boots fights him next. It just wouldn't. He's becoming like the whipping boy of the PBC. And that wouldn't change my mind on Boots if that did happen, because I don't think Barrios is that good. I'm not calling him a bum, not trying to be disrespectful, but I just don't think he's at that level. He's not at the top level like some guys are trying to put him when he fought Tank. Like that was ridiculous. Like there was literally an undisputed champion at 140 pounds named Josh Taylor. And these guys are trying to act like Barrios was a real champion just because Tank was fighting him. Like, the fuck out of here. Like, it's ridiculous. But look, at the end of the day, man, I agree with what Shawn Porter said. People are overrating him, and that's not a bad thing. It's just not. Let him step it up, and then once he starts stepping it up, if he continues to look the part, then guess what? I'll come back on here and say, hey, look, he's doing it. He's showing us he can do it. And I got no issues. I got no issue coming back and saying that. None. Because I think the kid is really good. Got no issue with that. Some of you guys do. Some of you guys hate to be wrong. And then even when you are wrong, you try to convince yourself and everybody else that you're not. But we know that that's not true. But I think a good fight for him at the end of the year, I think they're probably going to give him probably somebody around maybe the same level of comp he's been fighting in his next fight. I don't know. We'll see. But I feel like a really good stepping stone fight for Boots would be a Danny Garcia if he's going to stay at 147. And I said in that same video that I showed you guys earlier, I think that he beats Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia has been lackluster at welterweight. All his good wins are at 140 pounds. But with that said, he's still very experienced. He still has great timing on the left hook. So Boots isn't just going to just walk through him. I don't think that. I think he beats him. I think he's going to clearly beat Danny Garcia if they fight, but I don't think it's going to be easy, and he's going to have to be careful with that left hook. Because again, we don't know how good his chin is. And if one of those left hooks from Danny Garcia lands on it, anything could happen, man. But I think by the end of the year, he should be fighting somebody around that level. And then early next year, we could possibly talk about him challenging whoever has the belts at 147 at that time. Things are going to change dramatically coming here, man. Crawford is a free agent. We don't know who he's going to fight next. Keith Thurman made his comeback. Ugas versus Spence. Unification is going to happen. So one of those guys is going to have 3 belts. Things are going to be changing dramatically at 147 pounds. So him and Virgil and Conor Benn and whoever else I'm leaving out. But those are the 3 guys that I'm real excited for. What's going on, Guido? They need to continue to climb the ladder and work their way to the top so they can get themselves a shot at the belts by whoever's got them. That's what I think. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. But look, I do agree with what Shawn Porter said. I think people are just overdoing it. And let's just stop the talk of Porter should just fight him. You know, like Porter's retired, okay? Like that's silly. He's not jealous of Boots. Like, come on, like it's ridiculous. He's not afraid of Boots. He's fought just about everybody at 147 pounds. Hell, he's the only guy from the PBC to cross that street, fight Terrence Crawford. So he's not scared. It's just people just in their feelings, man. You got to come on, grow some fucking balls, okay? I'm sorry, man, but that's just it is what it is, you know? But anyway, I'm going to end this one, guys. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you catch this once it's on archive and you're new, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. This is G Funky Boxing. I'm out.